Man, this is such a cool Swiss-made watch. Out the gate, I will say it on camera right here, right now, 5 stars, and it's pretty affordable. I am kind of progressing in my watch taste a little bit. It's not all Casio, believe it or not. I have a lot of other brands that I will bring to tabletop. The core will be what I feel are super quality, high value watches that in most cases provide both a good second cool and a good first cool balance. And this watch totally does it. Here it comes. This is a 72802, the Wenger Classic Field Watch. Love the looks. Love the looks. And we're going to get into the details in what will be a relatively short tabletop review as I strive to make them easier when we're just talking about an analog presentation. But if I have a digital with a bunch of functions like a Casio Pro Trek or something, it takes more time to bounce through those functions. Swiss watch, yes. And I want to tell you this. If you follow my Twitter account, awesome, you already know about this news. If not, you should, because we talk about a lot of things. Go look at Nutnfancy Twitter page. One of the things I just tweeted like a day ago is that Mrs Nutnfancy got her DNA test back. We were thinking she was English, maybe some Irish, predominantly. Nope, she's not. Just like the TV commercial that says, hey man, the guy's in lederhosen, danced around, he thought he was German, he wasn't. Whatever that commercial was about. Yeah, it was like that with us too. I used myheritage.com. It was a little bit less expensive. It seemed like it worked. Her ancestry is 70% Scandinavian. And if we look at her chart, where her ancestors come from, it actually narrows it down even more. She's freaking Viking from Norway and Sweden. How cool is that? I thought that was awesome. So I'm married to a Viking, apparently. Why is that important in a watch tabletop review? Well, you know, it's in the vicinity. Switzerland, Swiss watches. I dig it. I like it even more now that I know my wife is from there. We've been married almost 30 years now, and we never knew that. Should I go do it, Nutton? Yes. I think you should. You should check out your ancestry. I think it's accurate. I don't know, but you know, as we dig in deeper to the, you know, genealogy, which some of her family has already done, you know, we'll probably find those lines that go back to that area in the world. I did mine too. I'll tell you maybe one of these days what my lineage is. I'm pretty much a mongrel. I come from all different places. I can claim all sorts of peoples. How's that? Oh yeah, watch review. Wenger Classic Field Watch. First up, look at how cool it is. How clean the presentation is. I generally don't like subdials. I don't like chronographs. Especially if I'm pairing the wearing of this watch with an Apple iWatch Series 2. What? You don't do that? I do it all the time, dude. All the time. I mean, guys are always wearing all sorts of heavy stuff, and bracelets and multi-tool bracelets on their other wrist. I think of my iWatch as pretty much a wrist computer. Used for messaging, activity tracking, checking weather. It's a wrist computer and kind of a watch. But you notice how the display always dies. I always have my hands full. I'll talk about this probably more. Sometimes I'll wear an analog watch on the other hand. The thing I don't like about iWatch, one of the things is I don't like to be locked into iWatch styling. So this is my only watch forever and ever. I mean, first cool, yeah. But second cool, no. Sometimes I'll just run, you know, something else. Peel off the iWatch. But I'll tell you what, the iWatch is addictive. I think, in my manner of thinking, it opens up more avenues for me for clean analog watches like this, because I have all the other functions that I could ever want on the iWatch, and here I have the most important function to me is time tracking. So cool factor, by the way, is that again, it comes from where Mrs Nutnfancy comes from. Apparently, that's up in Scandinavia area. That's a Swiss watch, dude. That's awesome. It's Swiss made. It's set into the case in Switzerland, and it has a manufacturer of Swiss origin. So I think that classifies Wenger as a Swiss watchmaker. Let's start off by looking at the back. Do this. Actually, very nice leather band. We'll look at that right now. Look at this. That is a nice leather band. Really nice. Swiss emblem on it. High quality calfskin. The black is classic and it blends with pretty much everything. Single clasp. Then you've got the Swiss logo on the clasp. Excellent. And here's the back. This is what we're talking about. The Swiss, and I have my label here. It's just a reviewing thing. But look at how high polish it is, first off. It's a screw-in back. Super high polish, super high quality. And I love the sack there. The Swiss Army knife back. And you'll read, it says, since 1893. God, that's a good-looking watch back. I have minimized the importance of watch backs because we never see them, but collectors do. And the guys that take it off and on their wrists all the time, and it's a second cool thing. They like it. I'm kind of getting that way myself. I mean, if it comes with a beautiful back like this and it's not costing me anything more, why not? And I really love the Swiss Army knife logo there. Nice. So excellent. So Swiss made. We're talking cool factor. Now, you could go out and spend, of course, thousands and thousands of dollars for all types of Swiss watch movements to include automatics, mechanical. This is a quartz movement, of course. This is kind of where I gravitate. The downside to the quartz is, all the batteries will go out probably in my my timeline all at the same time. And it's going to be expensive and a pain in the butt to replace them all. That's a downside. Every movement's going to have a downside. You just have to pick out what's important to you. There's another model similar to this, the Wenger Classic Field. It is 72915. If I find the link to that, it will be at the bottom. I think a lot of TMPers really love the Field watch look, and I'm with you there, brother. When we're talking about analog watches, I don't like dressy watches. I don't like chronos usually. I will vary from that a little bit. I like a classic Field appearance, thin men's, some of those, and then a diver. I love divers. So kind of the outdoorsy look to it. I'm going to show you another one, and this one I actually ordered direct from Switzerland, and it's a similar watch, and it was much more expensive. It has a similar face, and I don't know if I wrote the number down to it. This is not readily available in the United States. Check out this one. So this is day and date, big numerals, very similar presentation. We'll look at the dial in detail. And you're also noticing something that I like in an analog watch is I like a bigger face when I can get it. This one is 41 millimeters, and I think this one is even larger. I think it's like a 42 or 43 millimeter watch face on this Wenger. And I'll annotate which model this one is. But this one I had to go hunting around. I actually was at their overseas webpage and I saw it and I was like, God, that's a cool watch. And I hope my coloration on the camera is capturing it. It probably isn't. I just use the auto function on the white balance and sometimes it skews. Sorry, it is what it is. I'm always struggling at how to present this. I tried incandescent lighting in my last review and it sucked. It was worse. So bear with me. Gear transparency on a watch. In other words, how quickly do we adapt to it? Are we just thinking about it? Is it annoying us? Absolutely not. It's immediately gear transparent, this watch, because it's so comfortable. It's so lightweight. What did I say? 2.2 ounces here. So gear transparency is extremely high. Black face, there are a couple other variations. I just showed you that one. This one has date only, which is kind of nice because it will set a little bit quicker. The day and dates, in my experience, it's just, it's time. You're always just messing around with them, trying to get them accurate. This 15mm lug, I believe, which is a little bit on the narrow side, but we see that in some European watches, and I also see it in Russian watches. Russian watches? What are you talking about, Nutton? I'm talking about what I'm wearing today. A Komandirsky. Check that out. That's a Russian-produced watch. That has an 18mm band, and I'm wearing a NATO strap on it. That is a manual wind-up paratrooper commemorative, a Russian watch shipped direct to me from the Ukraine. I have a crystal protector on that one. Sick. Love it. It's cool. Second cool, man. Told you I was going to surprise you. Low sweat factor with this one because it has a leather band. In the summertime, the silicone and rubber bands make me sweat. I'm always taking them off to dry it out. But like we said, the comfort is extremely high on this. Very high. Accuracy is excellent. It is a quartz movement, 32,768 cycles per second if you care. And I believe it is an ETA brand Swiss quartz movement. Legibility is extremely high. That's another thing I love about a lot of the Wenger watches, is that they're just easy to extract time off of. First off, look at the second hand. Red. Now, you can see it's not marking the ticks like precisely, and some of you guys really hate that. I'm just looking at the price point, which, dude, is 145 bucks. And I think I even spent less. Like when I bought this in Amazon, it was 90. This is a $90 watch. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. So I can deal with, you know, a totally accurate secondhand. I don't freaking care. Hey, if I'm spending $5,000 on a watch, you betcha every single little detail better be perfect. I'm with you. But just remember the price on that. Perfect numerals. Perfect. Big, large numerals. None are skipped. You have military time on the inside dial. Clean indices all the way around with illumination. Let's look at that right now. I'll do a quick charge with my Olight. And this, by the way, when I do this, is not accurate as how the Loom will look. It's just a way to show it on camera a little bit. I would say the Loom is pretty good. Pretty good. Looks great, right? And you have brighter hands versus the numerals. God, it's such a good looking watch. The black face, too. The color combination of this watch is just superb. Look at the case, too. The execution of the stainless steel, non-titanium. I love titanium cases, but they're a little bit harder to find at this price point. I'm going to show you one coming up. Not too thick, nice execution, brushed on the side. Really strong lugs, not drilled through lugs if you care. Remember the price. We talked about that strap already. And if you didn't like it, it'd be easy enough to put whatever you want on it. You could put one of those really awesome Barton silicone bands. When I do run silicone, I'm pretty much running a Barton. Accuracy, I said, is excellent. I think it's around 15 seconds a month in this quartz movement. And since it is, you know, obviously an analog, we're going to have to manage the different days, and in this case, the dates as we transition. I can deal with it, though. It is waterproof to 330 feet. Not that you'll ever go that deep, but it's nice to know it can take it. And this is a sapphire-coated crystal. So, and it said it right on the case back. You probably saw it then. So sapphire coated. So it's not a pure sapphire crystal. You're not going to get that at this price point. Usually the Victorinox ones, sometimes you will. I mean, I reviewed that Victorinox one, and it's amazing. Now, I have heard that when the quartz movements die on these Wenger watches, hope I'm saying that right, doesn't really matter at all. They do take non-standard batteries, and I think there are some complaints about, you know, hey, when this dies 3 years down the road, it's going to probably be a pain for you to replace a battery. I don't know. Like I said, every movement's going to have its pain train. You're just going to have to deal with it. And this is probably one of the most important features to me in an analog watch is the 12 o'clock position and what is there. The Swiss cross. Just loud and proud, Mrs Nutnfancy's heritage being displayed. I'm kind of kidding with that. No, I'm not kidding about where she came from, but I'm having fun with it, that's for sure. I told her, I said on Twitter that she has to be a member of the Swedish bikini team. And then some guy in response goes, hey, you don't call them Swedish, they don't like that. Oh my gosh, dudes. Get a sense of humor. This is why I have to hide my sense of humor in all my reviews. It just creates more issues. Oh my gosh. Value is extreme. Even if you pay $145 for this, it's totally worth it, dudes. Totally worth it. I mean, this is one of the best high-value Swiss watches I think you can hook into. And I'm not just talking this one. Pretty much anything along the Wenger brand is going to be excellent. Let me show you one other one, and I'm hoping to review it tonight. I'll put the link to this one in the bottom. And this is the Wenger, I think, I get the name right, the Terra, Military Terra. Check this out. Oh, that's cool. I like that one too, bro. And it has an even bigger face. Sorry for the reflections. Let me see if I can minimize them here for you. These are very beautiful, classic high-value Swiss watches. Probably the same ETA movement, quartz movement in both. I better get to reviewing this one. Watch for that review posting. Nutnfancy. See ya.